Maroon scholars and historians are calling on the government to engage in dialogue with Maroon leaders to end the current standoff between Accompong chief Richard Curry and the Andrew Holness-led administration. The calls were made on last night's edition of All Angles. Giovanni Dennis reports.
Sunday's statement by Prime Minister Andrew Holness about Jamaica being a single unitary state has damaged his administration's relationship with the Accompong Maroons. But experts in Maroon history and culture say it's time to de-escalate the tension. Social historian and head of the Center for Reparations at the University of the West Indies, Professor Vereen Shepherd, says as a signatory to the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the Jamaican government needs to respect the rights of Maroons because
they are indigenous peoples because of the fact that indigenous peoples are defined as descendants of the first arrivals or early surviving occupants of a land.
Attorney Dr. Marcus Goff, who specializes in indigenous rights, agrees.
The first Maroons were Tainos, right? And that the modern-day Maroons are family descendants of the Tainos. Then they will be entitled to the definition of indigenous peoples that falls under the ILO Convention that speaks to the rights of indigenous and tribal peoples. Now, even if we say that they are tribal peoples, the ILO Convention says that tribal peoples are peoples whose social, cultural, economic conditions distinguish them from other sections of the national community and whose status is regulated, wholly or partially, by their own customs or traditions or by special laws or regulations.
Dr. Goff says the Maroons are not using the term sovereignty in the sense of their territory being a separate foreign state.
They don't mean that they want a seat at the United Nations and to be separate from Jamaica in that respect. We're talking about the rights that they have fought for and died for, which is to govern themselves.
As a result, he says, the focus on sovereignty is misplaced.
The question we should be asking is, do the Maroons have the right to self-determination? And I think that is where the answer lies, and I think that international law clearly says yes. And so what that looks like, right, in 21st century Jamaica, right, is what we need to now negotiate.
Maroon scholar Professor Harcourt Fuller says the Maroons' claim to self-government is possible within the borders of the Jamaican state.
You can look to the Samarca Maroons and other Maroon communities in Suriname, the Quilombo population in Brazil, Native Americans in the United States, First Nation peoples in Canada. We have models for this.
But how does Jamaica move forward with tensions running so high?
Well, I think we need to engage in a properly guided discussion across the conference table instead of across the media and the airwaves, and be, guided by law and legal principles and rights.
Professor Shepherd suggests Jamaica needs a Truth and Reconciliation Commission,
where we sit and we understand each other. I also call on the Maroons, to say you have to admit what happened, but you have to help Jamaicans to put it into context. It's a lack of context which make us forgive the enslavers, and then we condemn those who are trying to liberate people from slavery.
She suggests the Ministry of Culture be the agent of peace. Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.